Good morning. How are we all today? Last week I shared a lot of information around the mind. And, understanding the mind is so powerful. If we don't understand the mind, what it is and how it works, we don't understand ourselves and we don't understand our world. Our world is an outpicturing of our mind. So it's very easy to see what we're thinking, what's in our subconscious, by actually looking at our outside world. Now, our mind is also connected to our five senses. Our conscious mind is connected to our five senses. And for most of our life, we've lived by our five senses. We truly have. We believe everything our eyes, ears, nose, touch tells us because it looks, sounds, smells, tastes so real. And the thing is, absolutely everything is energy. And when we understand that everything is energy, we can understand that there's also, it's malleable, it's changeable. Energy is like the waves of the ocean. It can be changed as quickly as the wind changes. So, when we are wanting to create something, it's because of our programming, most of us think it's going to take a long time. In the past, things we've wanted, if they've come at all, they've taken a long time. It doesn't have to be like that. Everything is energy and nothing is created or destroyed. There is no time. Time is an illusion. It belongs to the human mind. We experience one thing after another, and our mind puts it in a sequence that makes sense to us, and we call that time. But actually everything is happening right now, which means there's a you who is 2 years old and there's a you who's 90. There's a you that is living your future, that one that you want to live right now. And the only way we can get to that future is to change who we are now. And to change who we are now, we've got to change our thoughts. Guess what? Our personality is part of our subconscious mind. It's part of the paradigm, the programming that has become who we imagine ourselves to be. And I mean imagine. We imagine ourselves to be as we are today. And I imagine myself differently to how you imagine me. Every single one of you imagines me differently and has a different understanding of who I am, because you're looking at me through your perspective, through your subconscious filter. So because we've got these five senses and the world looks oh so real, we tend to believe everything we see, hear, smell, taste and touch. And what that means is, we've set our goal, we started visualizing, we've started understanding our mind. Hello, whoever you are. I can see I've got a friend watching me. Say hello, let me know who you are and where you're from. That would be awesome. And ask any questions if you would like to. Because our world looks so real, when we start building a picture on the inside, our vision of what we desire, we actually counteract that over and over and over again because we look for proof through our senses. However, when we understand vibration, that everything is energy, and, just as steam, water, and ice are all the same, exactly the same frequency, exactly the same energy, but on a different frequency, I should say, then we can understand that everything in our world is just frequency as well. And when we change our internal frequency through changing our thought, we align with different parts of that world. So when we are visualizing and we're building an image on the inside of what we prefer, we've got to be really aware of what we're paying attention to in our physical world. We've got to be aware of what we're thinking, because if we're calling in an amount of money, so my goal is $100,000 a month, to earn $100,000 a month. If I'm looking at my bank account and it doesn't agree with my vision, I'll negate my goal. But actually, because there is no time and everything is now, there is a version of me who is earning $100,000 a month. There's a version of me who is earning much more than that. So to believe in what the five senses are telling me is absolutely ridiculous. So it's really important to understand creation, to understand that everything is energy, and to shift our belief system around that. You know, the course that I facilitate for the Proctor Gallagher Institute is called Thinking into Results. Now this program is only available through consultants such as myself. It can't be accessed outside of a consultant. And the reason for that is they understand that this is such an intense course that without somebody to actually assist you through it, to give you different perspectives, to help you to understand and really embody these, and to hold you accountable week after week, the change isn't going to happen. Now, Bob doesn't teach you what to think, he teaches you how to think. And, you know, this course is actually taught by Bob Proctor and Sandy Gallagher, who is his business partner, and facilitated by me. So, you know, this is a 6-month course. You would have a weekly one-on-one call with me where we go through the lessons, where we discuss them, where we talk about your application of them, where you are held accountable, and where you get to ask any questions. So, you know, this course is invaluable in changing lives. It's changed hundreds of thousands of lives all over the world. It was actually created for the Fortune 500 companies. And, you know, Bob's never been really into real estate, but he taught it to a lot of the big real estate companies worldwide, and it changed their bottom figure like drastically within just a few months of the staff involved in these real estate industries applying these lessons. You know, yearly outcomes were becoming monthly ones. And, you know, I'm witnessing huge changes in my life through applying this. And what's even more delicious is I get to apply this wisdom to my online business. And when you've got an online business that works anyway, that's got an automated platform that really doesn't take much of my day at all, and I get to be me, I don't actually have to sell anything because of the automation. It's got all the sales and everything are taken care of. I really get to live my life. I get to think into the life I want, and I get to really play with all of these aspects of my life and make it even more delicious. So back to today, you know, everything is energy. Everything exists right now. You know, everything is available to me right now. What I experience in my outside world is what I'm aware of. And I'm aware of it because it aligns with my belief system. I'm in agreement with it. But everything that I'm not aware of is there as well. And for me to experience these things that I desire in my world that I'm not yet aware of, I need to become aware of them. So, you know, I do daily study. Daily. I read books over and over and over and over again. I don't read a book once. You know, I haven't read a fiction book for quite some time. And I do occasionally when I feel like I need a break. But this is my passion, you know, understanding who I am so that I can help all of you understand who you are. And in my world, there is only me anyway. You know, all of you are parts of me. You're aspects of me that I've become aware of, that I interact with. So all I'm ever doing is interacting with parts of myself, whether that's with you, whether it's with someone else, whether it's with this glass of water, whether it's with a situation, something in my environment. It's all parts of me. It's all energy, pure consciousness that's been molded by my belief system into what it appears to be. So coming back to the subconscious mind, we must change our subconscious mind if we want to become aware of things that we're not already aware of. Autosuggestion. Autosuggestion is actually looking into your own eyes in the mirror. So it's looking directly, and you can't look at both eyes at once. I've tried. You know, two eyes can't consciously focus on two eyes. You know, they're meant to focus together. So, you know, I focus on my left eye. I make a suggestion, and then I focus on the right eye and I make the same suggestion. Now, an auto-suggestion is a suggestion from yourself to yourself. Now, going back to last week's lesson, the subconscious mind is actually the emotional mind. So to say something without feeling really hasn't got much effect. Yes, by repetition, it eventually will get feeling. But if you can add feeling to what you're suggesting to yourself, then it's going to become part of your programming much more quickly. So autosuggestion, as far as I'm concerned, is really part of the magic. I actually have a mirror right here beside me, which I use several times a day. Louise Hay used to always talk about, you know, mirror work, and I saw her many a time in person, and she always had a mirror tucked in her bra, you know, just a little compact mirror. But, you know, the mobile phone and the camera on it is just as powerful. Look into your own eyes and tell yourself what you desire. Remember, self-image, who you believe you are, is part of the programming. So you can change the programming of yourself to actually change who you are. And when you change who you are, the difference in frequency that you become actually changes your world. And because your subconscious is changed, you're looking at the world through a different filter. So, you know, an auto-suggestion might be, I am a powerful woman who knows what she wants. I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm earning $100,000 a month. Money flows to me from multiple streams on a continuous basis. Everything in life supports me. I am pure love. I am pure consciousness. I am the divine in form. You know, all of these things repeated to ourselves over and over is shifting the subconscious, is becoming new programming in the subconscious mind. Now, you know, a lot of people think that they have to get rid of old beliefs. And I used to be one of them. You know, I was big into EFT and tapping, not so much anymore, because, you know, the subconscious mind really abhors a vacuum. So to try and get rid of something by focusing on it, to me, just builds it, just feeds it. Because anything we focus on, we give energy to. But we can focus on the opposite, and what we focus on, we attract. So, you know, if you are feeling a lack of finances right now, if you focused on abundance, you would actually shift your energy towards abundance. So auto-suggestions around abundance would be really powerful. I do auto-suggestions around my goal, morning and night, and in between. You know, I've got a little 4x3 or 5x3, you know, these cards. I've got them everywhere. But I've got one of these in the bathroom right by the mirror. So every time I go to the bathroom, I do my mirror work. You know, I do these auto-suggestions. So, you know, I could be auto-suggesting, you know, 10 or a dozen times a day. It's something that I never really stop. Also, I've got my goal card. So, you know, I've written on this card, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm receiving $100,000 or more each and every month, while empowering others to live their most powerful and abundant aligned selves and lives. You know, and this is in my pocket. So, you know, every time I touch this goal card, I think about my goal and I get excited about it and I feel it. So when you're doing the auto-suggestions, the more that you can feel into what you're saying, the sooner they're going to be programmed in the subconscious mind. I liken the subconscious mind to a cassette player. And any of you that are kind of around my age, you're going to know what a cassette player is. But, you know, we had these little cassettes, these music cassettes, and we used to record records on them over and over again, you know, and we didn't have to delete anything from these cassettes. If we wanted to record something new on them, we just push them in the player and press record. And the old music was wiped out when we put the new music on it. And our mind is the same way. All the old programming is replaced by new programming. So, you know, what we focus on, we feed, and what we ignore actually disintegrates. So, you know, when our five senses, when we're in the outside world, if we can be in an attitude of gratitude, we're actually in a high enough frequency that we are focused on all the things that are delicious in our world, the things that we are grateful for. And the things that we aren't grateful for escape our vision. And that means they escape a feed. If we ignore something long enough, it disintegrates. So that's really powerful to remember. And, you know, it's important not to keep fact-checking. When you've got a goal, when you've got your vision, when it's such a big goal that it scares you as well as excites you, you know it's a good goal. And then you've created your vision and you're visiting that at least morning and night, you've got your goal card. You've got reminders all over the house, you know, little cards that could just have a smiley face on it, but that smiley face will represent something important to you. And you do your auto-suggestion. You are constantly feeding your mind with what you prefer, and therefore, you know, that is what you're feeding. And when the vision on the inside of our mind is more powerful than what we're looking at in the outside world, when we understand that we can't even imagine something that doesn't already exist. So, you know, when you think about your goal and you can get excited about it, that's proof that it already exists for you. It might not be in the physical world that you're in right now, but it's available to you as soon as you become a vibrational match to it. So, you know, it's really important that you understand that. And when we can make the vision on the inside of our mind more powerful than the proof we might be seeing around us, then it must manifest. And it's not as if we pull it from thin air into the physical. What we actually do is shift from the dimension we're in now, from the frequency we're in now, into the frequency of the parallel life where that already exists. You know, our goal there is a physical place. We might be down here right now, but we can get there when we change our belief, when we change our frequency, when we shift our action to actually align with that space. And it can happen so quickly. You know, as soon as you can change your frequency and hold it there, find some stability in that frequency, we can be living that. Hello, Michelle. Lovely to have you here. Yeah, the dappled light. It's coming through the window. This time of year it does. It's absolutely beautiful. I like to sit in front of the window actually and bask in it. Sometimes continuous reinforcement is a form of doubt, Michelle, and it's important to really assess that for yourself. You know, if you're visiting your vision and it's feeling negative, then I certainly wouldn't do it at that time. I would probably look at that doubt and then create some sort of affirmation to negate that doubt, or really build the knowing and understanding around creation so that you alleviate that doubt. Because, you know, repetition is important. Repetition is what changes the subconscious programming. Next week we are going to go into the faculties of the mind: will, perception, reason, imagination, memory and intuition, because they are our tools of creation. And understanding those and working with them alongside of our understanding of creation is really important. And yes, certainly some people repeat stuff and repeat stuff and repeat stuff while they're feeling doubt, while they're in some sort of doubt. And, you know, on one hand, you're trying to think positive, but you're applying negative feeling to it. You're actually creating a mess, a chaos, and the world will reflect that. So, you know, last week I mentioned, or may have been the week before, when you're visioning, if you can come into a space of presence, of awareness, like that still pond, and then think about your vision from that place. From that place of awareness, there is no negativity. And when you drop your vision then into that pond, it makes delicious ripples. Certainly, yeah, this is a topic that we will address more and more. And it's important to recognise, you know, I get negative feelings coming up quite often too. And when they come up, you know, I look at them and I say, well, this is interesting, you know, not from a place of, you know, victim or poor me, but, you know, from a place of, wow, you know, what's this showing me? What's going on here? And if I can connect it to a specific belief, then I can certainly replace that belief with something positive. Or I can look at it and say, wow, yeah, like I can understand that belief. That was, you know, something that has protected me up to now. But is it something that my successful self, who is creating $100,000 a month, would still believe? And of course it isn't. You know, most of our beliefs, most of our fears that come up are fears that belong to our old self, to our subconscious programming. So the more that we can actually override those fears with positivity, the sooner we actually move into the vision, into the self, into the belief system, into the frequency that we desire. So, yeah, I think I've just about covered all I wanted to share today. It's really important to understand that we do create our own world, and I'm sure most of us here know that. At least we know it logically. Whether we've embodied it or not fully is another matter. You know, I would always say, yes, I know that. And I did know it logically. I hadn't made it part of my daily experience. It wasn't something that was running underneath in that programming. It was still in the conscious mind and not the subconscious. So yeah, the repetition is what gets it into the subconscious mind. And good feeling. You know, I did mention last week that there's two ways of programming the subconscious. One is repetition and the other is by shock. And shock is usually negative, but what if it wasn't? What if we could choose a belief that we really wanted to be part of our subconscious programming, part of our belief system, and we could attach such a high feeling to that, such a wonderful exuberance, you know, something phenomenal to it, that it actually embedded quickly. And, you know, this is possible. And it comes down to our belief, you know. What we believe really creates our world. So if we believe that reinforcement is a form of doubt, then that's what it is for us. But if we believe reinforcement is a form of positive programming, then that's what it becomes. So, yeah, there's lots to play with, but ultimately it comes down to what we believe. And what any of us believe isn't right or wrong. It's just the program. And we get to choose whether we want to use that program or whether we want to write a new one. So have an absolutely beautiful day. It's a gorgeous sunny day here. I'm excited to go for a walk. So have an absolutely beautiful day. Find plenty to appreciate. I hope I've offered you some value here today, and I look forward to hearing, you know, your questions, your responses to what's being shared. Big love to you all. And thank you, Michelle, for joining me. Bye for now.